Hi guys, my name is Danielle and welcome back to the Hugs and Kisses podcast. I'm here with Suzie Walsh today.
Hey guys, how's it going?
This is my girl. We go way back, don't we?
We do, we go way back. Almost, what'd you say, 10 years back? Wow.
I did the math last night to try and figure out when we met. You had to have been in like the 6th grade. When was Annie?
Oh, yeah, 6th grade.
Yeah. Fun fact, me and Suzie met doing theater back in the day.
Yes, we did.
Me and Suzie have a lot of lore that we're not going to get into because it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Suzie is a sophomore here at Oneonta.
It's true. I'm a sophomore here. I'm an education major.
Loving it. I gave you and your family a tour.
That is true. Danielle actually, when I was touring, deciding where I wanted to go to school, Danielle was gracious enough to let me and my entire family barge into her dorm. Right. Actually, pretty much unannounced to your roommate.
Well, yeah. a
right.
little bit.
So thanks for that.
But Suzie is prominent on social media, I would say.
I mean,
she got a little bit of followers on there.
You gotta give the people what they want.
Right. You want to shout out your account, tell everybody where to follow you?
And if what the people want is me dancing in a bathroom, then I'll give it to them.
Right.
So, and where you can find that video, guys. The worst transition ever.
Right.
So I go by Cranny, I guess.
Cranny,
yep. And it's at Southern Belle Suzie on TikTok.
What would you say, having the balance between, social media and social life and workload transitioning into school has, affected your mental health?
Depending on, what classes you're taking and, what things you're, involved in, that's really the biggest thing. So if you are taking heavier classes and you are involved in a lot of things, then obviously the stress is just going to build up regardless of social media.
My biggest thing when coming to school and navigating the social change and the fact that it's not like high school, because that was a big thing for me, was coming into classes and you're taking gen eds your first year, so it's I'm just taking history,
100%.
It's gonna be fine, and then you realize it's not going to be fine, and I actually have to lock in and go to the library.
and that in itself is the biggest thing, or it was last year for me as well. When I was a freshman, everybody talks about how it's such a changing time and how it's going to be such a huge adjustment, but nobody ever really talks about what that adjustment is, or how it's going to affect you and your mental health and where you stand and your I guess your morals and beliefs as a person start changing and forming, and it's awesome, but it's really scary and no one talks about it. Talk about it because it's not
nobody talks about the details. Nobody brings that up. I think big advice for freshmen is that first semester is a good time to use the fact that you're not in really, really hard classes. They are definitely more difficult, and realizing that before going in is a good idea to keep in mind, but then also taking that time because your classes will just get harder.
100%. 100%. And also don't invalidate how you are feeling about your own classes too. Make sure that if you are taking a class that everyone says is easy, it's not necessarily easy for you. So
I hate that.
I know.
I know. Even with my friend Lily, my roommate, I told her about a class. That I really enjoyed and thought was really easy, and now she's taking it and she says it's one of the worst things that's ever happened to her.
Yeah, I mean it's tough, and it's I don't know. I feel people are so quick to be oh no, it's so easy, you'll love the professor, all this stuff, but people also process things a million different ways.
Oh yeah.
So it's
and even with teachers all the time, it's oh, I really like them. Even back in high school, we had teachers that I really liked and you didn't really like. So it's it depends on who you are. What would you say that ideal self-care day looks like?
Oh, and you already know. Okay,
I do know.
I mean, self-care, we're talking self-care. I'd probably be home. Because we have 2 weeks left in the semester. I'm extremely homesick. I miss my dog. I miss my family. Shout out to my family, by the way, if you're watching.
Shout out to the families.
Right. I miss my family, my brother, my mom, my dad, my dog. That's the core four. But guys, I miss my car.
Right.
And I feel an ideal self-care day starts with me driving around, listening to some awesome music,
Wicked.
Getting my favorite Thai food. Shout out Sawadee, East Northport.
Oh, I've never tried them.
So good, Danielle. So good.
I've heard good things.
So good. And then I go to my favorite spot, James Street, watch the sunset for a little bit, and then I park my car downtown. Ciao. Ciao.
If it isn't obvious, me and Suzie are from the same hometown. I don't know if we pointed that
Oh,
out.
yeah. All right.
But my ideal self-care day would probably be sleeping in until my body just decides to wake up, because I'm not setting an alarm on when I'm trying to like provide for myself.
Okay.
Good thing. So I'm sleeping probably at least till 12.
I woke up before my alarm this morning.
I've been doing that recently, and I don't know if it's like the amp up of the end of the semester that my body's kind of like.
I think like since it's getting warmer out, our body is like less used to like wanting like the warmth of our covers, that like we're like, oh my god, like it's time.
My comfy bed. What?
Yes.
My bed. I love my bed.
Yeah.
If I could spend an entire actually, I have done it many a time. I have spent many a day just in my bed, and that's okay. Don't let anybody tell you that it's not okay to rot in your bed sometimes. Bed rotting is good as long as you're not spending all of your time doing that. And I stand on that. Thank you.
Yeah, sometimes you just need a little time by yourself in your bed, cuddled up, maybe with a good TikTok scroll,
a good movie. Say a good book.
I would probably never say book.
Right. But no, I think reading is good for mental health, especially if you like certain types of books and you like I love people who like a fantasy book and like really immerse themselves. It's like a little bit of an escape.
Yes,
which is what
I love a fantasy book.
Oh, there we go. If anybody's got any good fantasy book recommendations, send them Suzie's way.
Exactly.
You know her TikTok handle.
Have you heard of shifting? Can we talk about this?
I'm talking about shifting. I'm sorry. I've heard that all the people who back then in the day who were like big on shift talk, claiming it was all false. It was a farce, and I'm upset.
Wait, I'm gonna cry because like I really was like, wow, I can't believe these people are like living these lives in a dream world.
And there was a girl in high school who was so big about it, and I would actually talk to her about it and get all these details and be like really curious. Do you think that like something like that would be like positive for like mental health or negative? You think people like use that to get away?
Shifting?
Like, yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's definitely a personal thing. Like for some people it's probably positive, like, oh, like I'm getting to meet my favorite characters, I'm getting to like live like through like vicariously through my characters from my favorite books. And then for other people it's like could become a little bit unhealthy because they're like sleeping all the time, wanting that, like craving that fantasy almost.
Yeah. Speaking of social media and TikTok,
right,
ma'am, TikTok star, the next up and coming Charli D'Amelio, is this something that you want to like focus more on and take seriously, or is it just like silly fun, haha?
I mean, I'm kind of just going with the flow of it all. It's very far removed from like my major and like what I'm actively trying to do with like my career path. But like, I mean, I have a really great time doing it. Like I think, I mean, it brings me joy to do, and I feel like
joy seeing your videos.
I feel like if I can make other people laugh or like smile, even just like doing something dumb in a video.
You're one of the funniest person I've ever met in my life, and you know that. So.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Let me hype you up. Sometimes you need a little bit of hyping up.
Thank you. Stop.
No, I think Suzie is so funny, and I think her account is so relatable because it's just like, it's whatever thoughts spawn in your head.
Truly.
And I love that. Truly
it is. I feel like a lot of the things on the internet are fabricated, and sometimes people just like want like something real. Right. And not that, I mean, obviously not everything I post is real all the time. I'm not claiming to be some like influencer. I'm just saying like.
I think the internet needs that though.
Yeah,
it's
people.
Like, it's a silly little corner where it's like, I'm like when you're watching like influencers and you can tell that things are scripted and they were paid to do that, and it's like I want to like watch something that like it's like funny and like real and like relatable, and I could just go on your TikTok and be like,
yeah, that's the biggest thing. People love, and I'm also included in people obviously, but people love to like relate. Like people love to find something and be like, oh my god, like I do that as well. Like me, like this is something I do. This is something I can like resonate
video
with.
You post, I go, me.
All right, well, that's because we're twins. Like that's because you're my sister.
We're
that's my sister right there, everyone. But no, it's like, yeah, people just like love to look for themselves and things, and I feel like when people find something that's like not posted every day, it's not like a get ready with me or like a clean girl like today we're gonna make soup. And you know what I mean? It's like just something real. Like you're getting back from going out and you're making a TikTok with your friends, or like you're like going to class and you're like sweating and crying and throwing up because you have a test. Like just
guys,
like
I have a bit there, please help.
Yeah, like just stupid things that like I don't know, people love to relate.
Right. There's this girl, I don't know her name. I just have recently been seeing her stuff.
Okay.
Or like videos about her where she's like not the like skinny model, like blonde, like girl, and like everybody are really like praising her because she's like being like helping with like self-image in young women, which I think is so big with social media these days, because everybody you see is like picture perfect and they have their filters and they have their this and that, but then there are those creators that are just like, I'm gonna be me and I'm gonna be real, and people see that, and I think that people find comfort in that.
100%. 100% people find comfort in that. But this like specific archetype of like person, creator, like social media influencer that you're describing is kind of a canon event, right? Like in the influencer world. Right. Like I don't know who you're talking about, but I can name like a couple other influencers that like were so like everyone was obsessed and praising them, and then they like turned on them so fast. Like that's another thing about the internet is ever changing, so it's like people have to so quickly adapt, and like people change their minds so fast. Like switching, like it just, I don't know, yeah. People just switch up and gotta be prepared for whatever.
Right. Speaking of creators, what are some people that like you watch that inspire you? Or your content?
No hesitation, right off the bat, Brittany Broski's my number one.
Queen.
That's my number one. She just recently released some songs.
Yes, she did the Harry Styles cover.
She did the Harry Styles cover, and then she also released her own song called The Sun.
I didn't hear that.
Go stream it, everyone. Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you prefer, it's probably on there. But yeah, Brittany Broski's my biggest inspiration, I guess you could say.
I totally see that now that you say it.
Yeah?
Like, I totally see it.
But yeah, I'd say Brittany Broski's my number one. And she always will be. So, Brittany, if you're ever watching this, I love you.
Right. Do you think that the staff and professors here at Oneonta are supportive of students' mental health?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I do think, though, that you kind of have to, also put yourself out there a little bit. I know it's hard because it's like, you're shy. Like, everyone claims to be so outgoing until they're in a class, and it's like so intimidating. Nobody wants to speak. Nobody wants to speak. Nobody wants to reach out. Nobody wants to do anything. I'm so guilty of it. I find myself like looking for familiar faces in classes, never really wanting to put myself out there.
Hip hop class and I saw you, I said, good.
Right, and we're stuck. But yeah, like I feel like if you put yourself out there, professors really take to that kind of stuff. And like if you ever needed any kind of support, like I have a number of professors that because I felt a little more bold in a classroom setting, or like was willing to like interact with their lectures and whatnot, like they really take to it and they love feedback. Like they love interaction, and I think a huge thing that stunted that kind of willingness to interact was COVID, and I know people are so tired of talking about it, but it's true.
The COVID conversation.
It is true. It's true. People kind of closed off, and that's totally fine. It's totally normal, but it's time, I think, to to start branching out again.
Right. I think it's so important, like you said, if you create a relationship with a professor or a staff member, then to ask for help and support is so much easier.
Yeah.
Even just for yourself to like ask that question, but for them to be receptive to give you help and answer your email. Because one thing I do find with certain professors is they're not big on answering their emails. And like if I send an email and I say, hey, I'm not doing well, can I get some leeway? They will probably say yes, but they might not answer my email as fast as I would like them to. But more often than not, they'll answer, and they'll usually give you what you need when you are honest. I honestly also believe honesty is like the best policy.
Yeah,
because you can come up with a random lie and they'll probably just be like, okay, skip class. But if you are genuinely not doing great and you say, hey, I need some time, like I need to take a mental health day, they'll probably be like, I'm proud you're taking time for yourself. Like, take all the time you need, get back to me when you can. That's an email I got.
Professors are people too. Like I feel like people always forget that like while there are like stereotypes of like what a professor is and how they act, like they're just normal people. Right. Like just like us. Like they have their days and they have their times when like they're not doing the best, and they like also need time for themselves and for their families. So like they get it. But like don't take advantage. That's always the worst. But I will say, what you're saying about how sometimes professors don't like respond to an email right away, it's true, but most of my professors do. So that's a little bit foreign to me.
I think there's like one or two that I've had some issue with.
Yeah, but I will say, if you show up to their office hours, or if you stay a bit after class, or like maybe you come a little bit early, they are more, they want that. Professors eat it up. They love it. They love it. Like, when you put yourself out there and you come to them, it doesn't really matter. It honestly doesn't really matter what it's about. If you are coming to them for advisement, which is, by the way, their job, they love to do it. Because they're in this, let me tell you, professors are not in this for the money. Let me just say that.
Let's be real.
They love to help kids.
Right. Do you have any professors that you really like stand out to you?
My diversity and teaching professor, who is now my academic advisor, who I just switched to because she's awesome, Dr. Allison Dosick. She's great. She's so sweet and open-minded and just willing, and she's very respectful of everyone. She's very patient. She always, makes sure that we're good. She brings food to class. She's awesome.
I love when teachers do that.
I know, she's awesome.
I love when they bring snacks.
And I don't think she hears it enough, so hopefully she'll watch this and hear.
We'll have to send them the link.
Yeah.
Say, hey, grades are coming up.
Yeah, but I love all my professors, all of them. I'm not kidding. Yeah, they're all great. Even our professor that we have together.
Oh, Reynolds.
Professor Reynolds. He's also from our hometown.
Yes, he did. He did go to our high school and everything, which is so silly because we'll be having class conversations and then I'll bring up something from home, and then he'll make a comment, and then Suzie
I'll make a comment, right?
And then it basically just turns into a little
family
drama.
reunion.
Yes, a family reunion while the other 45 people in class are just watching.
They're just like, what is going on?
We're yappers.
We are yappers.
One thing about me and Suzie is we can talk for a very, very, very long time.
And we just did, and we'll probably do it again.
Yeah, we probably will. And we'll probably do it on James Street this summer.
Stop.
Watching the sunset.
Stop. Licks, please.
Wow.
If you can hear us.
Licks,
if you can hear
us.
us.
Buy some ice cream. We're going to sit on James Street.
We're on our way.
And give ourselves some self-care. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. I had a great time. Suzie, I hope you enjoyed yourself.
I had an awesome time. Thank you so much for having me.
Right. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye.